Welcome! I'm Sarah, your programming friend. Today we're going to run our first Java program using the command prompt. In this example, when we're just using the command prompt, we're just going to program in Notepad. So just go to Windows and open up Notepad. So the first thing we'll type is just public class and then the name of our program, which in this case I'm going to say first program, but you could do whatever name you want. Java naming conventions dictate that a class name is capitalized and each new word is capitalized, which is called camel case. Thus we have the capital F and P, but the program will certainly still run if you don't follow convention, and it just looks nicer that way if you do. So moving on, next you'll need these curly braces or brackets. All your code will be between these two brackets. Now again, to make your code easier to read, you want to tab everything in that's between those brackets, so then it's easier to see what is between those brackets. So now we add our main method, which has a bunch of stuff in it, but you don't need to understand any of it right now. You can just copy it until it makes sense. Just know this is your main method, and it does need to be called main in this case. Now we add the same curly braces, and we tab in just like we did before with the class. And now to print text, we're going to write the code System.out.print line, even though it's just an ln, and then we have parentheses, quote, and everything you put in here is going to be print to the screen. So you can put whatever you want. I'm just going to type, hello, this is my first program. And then you close the quotes and close the parentheses, and then pretty much every line of code ends with a semicolon. It's kind of like a period in programming. So now your code is done. So now we just need to save it. So go up to File and do Save As, and pay attention to where you're saving it. And the name of the file needs to be the same name as the class you put at the top. So I said first program, so we're going to call it firstprogram.java. Still needs to be capital F, capital P. The code we just wrote is called the source code, and the computer can't read just the source code. It's nice and relatively English looking so we can understand it, but in order for us to run the program, we need to compile the source code using the javac command into Java bytecode, which will be stored in a .class file with the same name as the .java file. Then we run the .class file through the Java virtual machine using the java command, and we can see our code run on the computer. So now we know that we need to compile our source code, which we will do using the command prompt. So we'll open the command prompt by typing cmd and pressing enter, and then type the command to compile Java code, which is javac and then the name of your .java file. In this case, firstprogram.java. And then we press enter. But we see a problem, of course. The error message is quite clear. File not found, firstprogram.java. And that's just because we're in the wrong directory or folder. You can see here that we're currently on the C drive in users/Sarah, which is not where we saved our firstprogram.java. So I'm going to open my computer and navigate to where I saved it, so it's easy to see where it's saved. Notice I saved it on my G drive, but you'll likely stay on the C drive. And here we can see the full location. It's just on G/users/Sarah/documents/Java tutorials/downloads. So first things first, to change our current drive in the command prompt, we just type G: and press enter. And now we're on the G drive. So to move folders, we use the command cd and then type in the name of the folder. If you don't know what folders are in your current directory, you can view them by typing dir in Windows or ls in Linux. So we see here there is the directory called users. So we're going to navigate there by typing cd users. And then we can do dir again and see now Sarah is a directory that's in there. So we can navigate to Sarah by saying cd Sarah. And we can also move up multiple folders at a time by just putting / and continuing to write names of folders. So we can finish the location by just adding documents/Java tutorials, which if you're in Linux you would need quotes around it since it's got a space in the directory name. But in Windows we can do it without quotes. And then /downloads, press enter, and now we're there. And if we do dir, we can see there is firstprogram.java. So we are in the right place. Also for reference, if you want to go up a directory or back a directory, you just type cd and then ... and you can do that again with multiple directories by saying ... /... and you can keep going /... for however many directories you want to go up. But we're going to go back to downloads where our first program.java is, and we can finally compile it by typing javac first program.java. And if nothing shows up, that means it did it successfully. You can even see up in the folder that it made our .class file. But to see an example of an error message, we're going to go back and just remove that little semicolon and just Control S to save it. And then we go back and try compiling it again, which you can scroll through previous commands by pressing the up and down arrow on your keyboard. Thus I can get to javac quicker without having to type it again. And there we see the error message that says semicolon expected on line 5. So we'll go back and we'll add the semicolon and save it again and compile it. Press the up arrow and enter. And this time it was successful. And we'll see when we successfully compiled it, it made that first program.class file, which is what we're going to run. So let's run it. Just say Java first program, which if you notice if you start typing it and press tab, then it can finish it for you. Note when you're running it, there's no .class extension, so we're going to remove that. Now we press enter and we see the text that it printed out. Hello, this is my first program. Now if you're feeling adventurous, I'd challenge you to go in and then change the text and see how it changes when you print it out. So I'm going to add these two smiley faces, save, and notice if I try to just run it again, it's the same program as before. You have to recompile it every time. So I press the up, get to javac, it compiled, now we run it again, and now we have the two smiley faces. Yay, how happy. I'll get rid of those, and I'm going to add another line of code here, so we can have 2 lines. So I just copy that, tab in twice again, and paste it. And this time I'm going to type, yay, I can program. And now we save that and recompile and run it again. And now we see 2 lines of code. Hello, this is my first program. Yay, I can program. Now let's experiment. You can see there's 2 printing commands, main ones, print and print line. I'm just going to change those both to just print, and you can see what happens. So just save again and recompile, and then we run it again, and we see it's all on one line, right? So the ln added a new line. It's like pressing enter at the end of each line. So we add the ln again, we can recompile it and run it, and now we see there's a new line at the end of that first line. We add it to the second one, save it, compile it, run it again, and we see now there's an extra space after yay, I can program. So this is what I'd encourage you to do. Just experiment with these simple things so you can take the magic out of the code and feel comfortable programming, at least at a rudimentary level. So you have now run and experimented with your first Java program. Congratulations! Thank you for listening. The next step is to run your first Java program in Eclipse. If you have any problems or questions, feel free to leave a comment below, or if you'd like a tutoring session, click the link in the description for my Wyzant profile.